The reason why I write these books is to independent and free the organizations and the agencies put in their box and try and treat it like everybody else that's disabled. I need to make clear that and I need to go away from that and get my own care and my own daughter be free from the. I don't want to become more disabled. I don't want to live. I want to enjoy my last few years on this planet. Hi, please like and subscribe and help me get my life back. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye. To all the people that like to subscribe, thank you very much. It's much appreciated all the help that you are giving me.
Chapter 7. Beyond the Horizon. The news of his acceptance to become an astronaut had spread far and wide through the ends of the neighborhood. His blog was alive, with many comments congratulating him and wishing him the best. His wife was delighted, and his grandmother cried a lot, and everyone else who was far away called his phone so much he had to turn it off at some point. Chris cried a lot when he was alone, and no one was there to watch him. His dreams were now a reality, his age-old dream. There was nothing he had ever desired more than being an astronaut and exploring space. Nothing else made sense to him. He had an unusual connection with the stars that brought meaning to his life. That was who he was. He prepared to join the astronaut training center, full of happiness and anticipation of what was to come. When he first joined, some other astronauts were skeptical about him, but as usual, he didn't let it faze him. He kept an assured smile and extended a hand of friendship to anyone around him. With time, they got used to his presence and accepted him as their own. Chris was launched into a rigorous training period that all astronauts had to undergo. His life became hectic as each day was filled with intense physical training, specialized courses in space technology, and simulations created to prepare him for the challenges of space travel. He braved every physical training, showing grit and hard work. Nothing would stand in the way and stop him from achieving his dreams. He was almost at the finish line. He only needed to cross it, and his dreams would be achieved. During his training, he worked well with the trainers who reevaluated their training and equipment to accommodate his disability. Knowing this, Chris felt a sense of accomplishment. He had managed to get into this program, but it was just a tiny step in including diverse people. He was paving the way for others who had the same dream and would be accepted later. As he continued updating his blog and excelling in other areas, he began to build a name for himself in space exploration. He wasn't a celebrity who had to hide from overzealous fans, but he had managed to make his way through the hearts of hundreds of people. One day, he received an email from Dr. Helen Avery, and as he read it, he couldn't stop the tears burning in his eyes. Dear Chris, I knew you had something in you when I first saw you. You have overcome most of the challenges that have come your way and have been strong through it all. Your passion has been an inspiration to me and my colleagues as well. We at the Research Center miss you and are rooting for you as you continue this journey. Twinkle as brightly as possible, Chris. You can do it. Yours sincerely, Dr. Helen. Motivated entirely by this letter, he was committed to improving himself. He could achieve so much if he just looked beyond the limits. He continued his physical exercises with more determination, posted more on his blog telling people of his story, and poured out his heart to Sarah even more, improving the intimacy between them. One of his most unforgettable experiences came as a surprise to him. He had been doing more straightforward exercises and changing his diet to become healthier for a long time. But one day, his trainer said he was going to try the zero-gravity simulator. Chris became so excited at this news that he even dreamt of it at night. He had waited for this day for a long time where he could float and physically experience his dream. He had no opportunity to actualize his imagination, but now he had the chance on a platter of gold. Once the day came, his trainer gave him words of encouragement. Now, it's going to be a bit scary at first. You might get anxious, but trust in yourself and us too, the trainer said, helping Chris wear the safety suit. Chris felt like he was already a qualified astronaut. Goosebumps spread through his skin, and his brain went through a rush of happy hormones. The machine looked like a transparent cylindrical compartment so that Chris could look through it. He wheeled inside the space and watched as the trainer manipulated the settings. Several beeps and sounds around him, signifying that the machine was starting to work. He waited, gripping the arms of his wheelchair in anticipation. He couldn't contain his excitement. In the next second, something began to change. First, the air in the compartment changed, and the pressure changed. His weight on the chair started to reduce, and soon he didn't feel it again. He looked down. His feet were inches above the ground. "Whoa," he said as he rose out of the chair, moving upwards. His heart swelled in his chest, full of a lot of emotions. The experience was surreal to him. For a long time, he had been confined to his wheelchair that he had almost forgotten he used to walk before the incident. Now, he was rising out of it and didn't fall. Instead, he floated. A laugh bubbled from his lips. He twisted his torso to maneuver the rest of his body, flowing in different directions. Like the stars high up, he could float. If he held on to his dream, one day he could reach the stars where they were too. A sense of freedom washed through his being as he floated freely. This was it. This was how he'd envisioned life to be. Free. Once he had gotten home that day, he didn't hesitate to tell Sarah all about it in excitement. She had a warm smile on her lips when she said, "I knew you could do it, my love."